Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. Okay, let me just go ahead and get straight into this. So I was listening to Red Supreme just now. Shout out to him, Cali Love, and got me thinking for a second. And I wanted to clear some things up because people are probably confused about GameChanger and why is he cool with certain quote unquote game dudes. Like, you don't see me with problems with ARC. You don't see me with problems with Red Supreme, Alpha Kingdom. Who else? Alpha Male Strategies. You know, you don't really see me with real problems with certain quote unquote game dudes. And there's a clear reason for that. So when you think about the culture of game dudes, and for the sake of this conversation, I'm just going to call them PUAs. I'm going to call them pickup artists, black pickup artists, as opposed to game dudes. Well, put it like this. Anytime you have a good thing, you have somebody who is in a position of note, you're going to get the fakers. You're always going to get these effing fakers who claim to be the thing that you are actually. Because there is some social status, at least in the society that you are a part of, with that title. For example, there used to be there used to be these places. I don't know if they still exist. I know one of them was closed, right? There used to be these career colleges and these medical schools and these legal assistant academies and stuff like that. By the way, fellas, I shouldn't really have to say this to the fellas because it's not really a thing that fellas do. But ladies, right? Ladies, do not, under any circumstances, ever in your entire life, enroll in one of those things. You will spend more money on that than you would a degree from an accredited university, and you're far less employable. I mean, in any large city, there's probably like 20 X-ray technicians, and every 8 months they graduate like 200 of you girls in the same city. Chances are you're not going to get that job unless you're connected. And if you're connected, you wouldn't need to go to that school. So don't even, you're going to waste a lot of money with that. You're going to waste a lot of money with that and time. But I'm going to use that as part of this analogy. So they have these schools, right? They have the business school, right? The Hill Business School. Hill is the one I'm thinking about. So I think that's the one that went bankrupt or whatever, just wasn't accredited or got sued or something happened, but nobody messed with them anymore. So you had these young ladies saying, I'm in business school. See, that's not true. And then you had the medical assistant, Healed medical assistant. I'm studying to be a medical assistant. And then they'll actually say, I'm in medical school, in law school, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But basically, these were young ladies going to these less than 2-year institutions to learn a very particular trade. And they're saying that they are something else, that I am a medical student. It's like, technically, yes, I guess, because what you're studying is in the medical field. But people are under the impression when you say that you are a medical student, that you are a doctor, and you are leading them into the wrong direction. You're deliberately misleading them into the wrong direction. Because now what you did was you changed the actual definition of medical school. So now if somebody says, I have a problem with medical school people, they're going to think that you're talking about, you know, the lifesavers at John Hopkins. You know, they're going to think that you're talking about the guys in Harvard, but no, you're talking about these chicks who go to, you know, who go to school for like 14 months to learn how to give somebody a shot. Then travel to another channel. So it's two completely different things. And that's what happens when other groups of people come and steal your title. Now, how does that relate to game and the difference between, you know, what I will call, for the sake of this conversation, pickup artists and actual game dudes? So you have like a group of people on one hand who I would at one time call them game dudes. Why? Because game is what they teach. That is the name of what they are teaching. And these were the AMS, ARCs, you know, Red Supreme, Alpha Kingdom, stuff like that. All of whom I'm cool with. And these dudes had a very particular template. This is how you can recognize them. One, they tend to work alone. They're not on the panel with about 8 other dudes talking about the same thing. They generally have their own thing that they do alone because it's their product that they're selling. They don't, nor do they ever really have to teach or emphasize dirty macking. They look at the uninformed or the uninitiated as just that, uninformed or uninitiated. Huh? Oh, Smurgo. Somebody sent me thanks on. Okay, I missed it. My bad. Somebody sent me notice that there was a super chat here. There can only be one. I get all the pussy. Me, it's all me. We're gonna get into that. Smurgo. Because if you notice, it's not really one, is it? It's like a group of them that, because, okay, here's the thing. Think of it like you need some validation to have credibility. You need somebody to give you references. It would be nice if AMS or, you know, any of the standing, even some of the white ones, it would be nice if any of the existing PUAs, the reputed PUAs who earned their reputation, were to validate you, were to publicly come out and say, I recognize you as one of us. But they didn't. So in absence of that, they just kind of gave themselves a title. We're talking about the game dudes now versus the PUAs. The game dudes just kind of came out of nowhere, gave themselves the title of player, Mac, pimp, or whatever. I'm a player, Mac, pimp. Oh, you need proof? Well, why don't you ask this guy? Well, I need proof of him also. Oh, no, he's a player, Mac, pimp too. Yeah, but who's validating him? He's validating himself. So there's a group. What the hell is it now? Okay, appreciate it. All right. So there's a group of self-proclaimed player Mac pimps that are just proclaiming each other without any stamp of approval from an accredited PUA. And that's why they kind of come together in groups, because they need that validation. But even that is something that, you know, I don't really care about. Okay, so here's the way I look at PUAs and all their stuff. I look at them as you just piecemeal it. You just take it or leave it. And that's with most things on the internet. You know, like there's channels out there on building gazebos. You know, if I want to build a gazebo and I don't, but if I ever do, I would go to that channel. And if I don't see the need to critique it. I don't. But the gazebo people never tried to sneak into the space and then diss everybody else in an attempt to aggrandize themselves at the expense of the people you just dissed. And this has been happening so much recently. I'd say like in the last, 8 months, that there has to be a backlash to it. There has to be. Like, you do the gazebo channels, do the woodsmith channels, do they come here and say, oh, y'all niggas don't know how to build a gazebo? Some niggas just don't know how to build a gazebo. But I know how to build a gazebo. I know because I said it. You never actually seen me build a gazebo, but I know how to build a gazebo. Hey, don't you know how to build a gazebo? Oh, hell yeah, I know how to build a gazebo. Yeah, don't you? Oh, hell yeah. It's like, really? You got to call that shit out. You're attempting to shame a group of people on a basis of something that they never really claimed in an attempt to aggrandize yourself. It's self-aggrandization. And it's also dirty macking. It's also your way of saying to any on-listening women, there is a group of men that you shouldn't be messing with. And this is the group of men that you should be. You see, the PUAs versus the game dudes, the PUAs are the ones that say, if you want to have women mess with you, then do this, this, and this. For example, AMS, he'll say something like, if you want to do this, you got to maintain masculine frame. You got to keep on your purpose. Alpha male ARC will say, well, if you want to avoid manipulative time wasters, then you should be more direct in your approach. I don't really listen to many people like that as it relates to picking up. Hold on, let me see what he said. Game versus no game beef is worse than Crips and Bloods. You see, that's where you're mistaken. That's where you're mistaken, Jerome. Because this isn't game versus no game. Nobody, at least that I know of, is claiming the side of no game. It's those who claim to be game guys versus those who they arbitrarily attempt to make fun of. So you may ask yourself, GameChanger, why do you have problems with people like Steve the Dean, but you don't have problems with somebody like Red Supreme? Because Red Supreme don't do fuck shit like Steve the Dean. See, when I clowned Steve the Dean that day on Platinum's channel, Steve the Dean was talking all kind of shit. They're always saying shit. They're always dirty macking. They're always saying shit like some guys or these guys or, these lame ass niggas, blah, 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 blah. Basically, his way of saying anybody who is not us is a non-game person. And a non-game person, insert here. Or insert insult here. And that day, the insult was would be afraid to approach, cannot, will not, and is inept in the area of approaching a female. See, he tried to paint that narrative in his dirty macking handbook. That's why I don't like that nigga. So I said, I'll be a huckleberry. If you want to create this rumor, this illusion that people who are not in your particular cohort, your particular culture of bullshit, is socially inept, uncharismatic, and awkward, okay, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. And that's why I went on the show, to do exactly what I did. Yeah, Sean Williams, exactly. To prove the joke. To prove the joke. To prove what they are doing is bullshit. Trying to create a group of people that they call others, that they are better than, with hopes that women will see it that way. That's what dirty macking is. Now, I played the clip on Sweet Melody Speaks channel of how they were directly dirty macking. Who was he dirty macking? Mike Tyson or Ice Cube or something like that. He was dirty macking somebody. But it was always, and this is the tactic that they use. If you really look at it, and they all fall under the same umbrella tactic. These other dudes are such and such. It was Rick Fox, and then it was somebody else, Zero. So first it was Rick Fox, then it was somebody else he called Burnt. And then he just said, oh, that nigga Burnt. You need to fuck with somebody like me. That's the only tactic they have. Like, I get AMS. AMS actually has like a lot of useful tactics. I get it. A man should be on his purpose. Sometimes you probably have to take a break from going out chasing ass. I'm all on board. I'm all on board with that. Sometimes you just got to step back. Like, you know something? I'm getting shot down because women not feeling this physique. Maybe I need to lose some pounds of muscle or gain some pounds of fat. Instead of going to the club every 3 days, I'm going to go to the gym. Hey, I'm not going to argue with no shit like that. That is great advice. That is great advice. Am I going to say, oh, you a game nigga? No, you know, I mean, even though what you are spitting is game and it is useful instruction, and yes, somebody can call you a game dude, a whole group of people fucked up that title for you. That title used to mean something. It used to be worth something. Now it's just like, what the fuck? You in lock with these dudes? These clowns? PUAs don't even want to be associated with you. You're a fucking leper. And that's because it's the shit you're doing is just like some collective dirty macking. Fuck them niggas. Fuck with these niggas. Fuck them niggas. Fuck with these niggas. Those niggas are this, this, and this. But I'm this. Shit's lame. It's lame and it's played over and over again. So from that stems the thinking, the belief. Oh, if you're against me, you're against game. No, nigga, I'm against you. What do you have against game? I don't have anything against the concept of game. I have something against what you're doing. What you're doing is pigeonholing people into different categories and trying to get the women to come to your particular hole. And they're not. And they're not. That's you. That is how most people see you. And the people who don't encourage you to do it because they like clowns. They're like, oh, you're a clown, but I'm going to enjoy the show. And everybody sees it. I was watching, and this is a small spoiler on Coming to America 2. Very small, but if you feel the need, mute your speaker for about 45 seconds, right? Mute your speaker for about 45 seconds. All right, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. There was a scene in Coming to America where the light-skinned dude that played on Power, the original Power, came out and he's like, hey, what's up, player? What's up, my G? Blah, blah, blah. And he had the dreads and he had the jewelry and shit like that. He was the stereotypical pigeonhole game nigga that people see. And everybody just looked at him like a fucking clown and just immediately dismissed him. He was immediately dismissed. Like, fuck that. That's how the world sees you. And all we're saying is, shut the fuck up about us. Do I go to fuck with y'all? Like, I was on Bernard's panel yesterday telling a story about the stove and how it was misconstrued. Some dude come up not knowing the whole story. Well, you know that makes you a trick, right? Like, I wonder why that matters so much. Like, oh, because he's the type of guy that wants to put somebody in a separate category. He wants to say, you're one of them. And I'm going to put you in a box and I'm going to label that box. I'm going to label that box trick. And then I'm going to further say, I'm not in that box. That's what they all do. That's your strategy. And fellas, it's played. Like, you know, but go ahead and play yourself. I would love to see you attempt. I would love to see this. I'm not talking about the PUAs, because the PUAs actually have a strategy. They actually have a method. They actually, you go to their channel, you go to, in fact, oh, shout out to Steph Clinkscales. Shout out to Steph Clinkscales. Forgot about that. Shout out to this brother. You go to him, you'll know you'll get some stuff on fitness and the importance thereof. He's not saying game every 3 seconds. Game, mouthpiece, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, when you go to certain PUA's channels, you know what exactly they're about. You go to these game dudes channels, and it's like, oh, I'm about game. Okay, well, what's your strategy? I mean, I'm assuming that you're talking about getting women. Oh, no. Game isn't about getting women. What are you about? Well, I'm about game. But and I get bitches. But when I say game, I'm not talking about getting bitches. What is your strategy for life improvement? The aforementioned people actually have strategies. They have an overall umbrella, and then they go into depth about their tactics. Your strategy seems to be to say, I'm part of this club called the Get Bitch Club, and bitches should want to be a bitch in this club. Is that your strategy? Because that's what we're hearing. And then because you've created this club, you're saying that my club is better than your club. Them niggas, some niggas, those niggas, them niggas. And then if somebody is foolish enough to ask you for help, you give advice like, you should get a starter bitch. And then shame the person for needing help in the first place. Why? That is to distinguish yourself from someone who needs help and an expert. You basically are doing that in an attempt to say, you are in need of help, and I am a master. You are Luke in Empire Strikes Back, and I am Yoda in Empire Strikes Back. But you want to know the best part about the Luke and Yoda dynamic? You want to know when Yoda really dropped the mic on Luke? Is when he showed his receipts. When Luke said to Yoda, for you, it would be impossible. For you, it would be impossible to lift this X-Wing fighter out of the swamp. Because you're a little lame green guy. And then Yoda lifted it. And then at that point, Luke understood that this is somebody that I should learn from. But you have a group of people that just go around claiming to be a Jedi Master. This is somebody who claims to be a Jedi Master. And when I say actual strategies, I'm not talking about something in general, as in improving yourself. Because really, that's typically when it's general like that, what they're doing is to say, your problem is this. I'm in this group, you're in that group. And if you want to get in this group, you have to improve to get into my group. That's pretty much what that is. But you're right. See, as long as there's a pattern of othering people, then I classify you as a game guy, not a, PUA. Once again, for the sake of this conversation. Not a dating coach. Once again, for the sake of the conversation. Now, keep in mind, the reason why I'm pointing out the individual characteristics is so y'all can see it. because any name I give, because keep in mind, these guys want to be ARC. They want to be AMS. They want to be, who's the guy? Roosh V. They want to be these dudes. That's their goal. So anything they say, any title you give them, they will cop. If one day I start calling PUAs the charisma crew, guess what these dudes are going to do? They're going to say, I'm the charisma crew too. I'm part of the charisma crew because I got charisma. Ain't that right, bro? Yeah, that's right. I know that because I'm part of the charisma crew. Ain't that right, bro? Oh, yeah, yeah. You're part of the charisma crew too. Any title that these dudes take, they're going to get people that mimic them. Just to create an illusion. And that's what it is, fellas. It's illusion and delusion, but keep me out of it. As long as your illusions and delusions don't include me, I don't give a shit. I truly don't. I truly don't. What kind was it? I'm on keto right now. But yeah. And that's it. I get it. Like when you see yourself, and I don't know what these guys look like. I mean, because some of them have pictures, some of them don't. I just found out what ism look like. You know, but it don't matter because this is not an attack at their looks, and I'm not even, this isn't even like a physical thing that what I'm about to say. But when you see your persona, you see something that is different than what it is. You see yourself as a irresistible, charismatic ladies man that is able to convince women to do things for you that they didn't have initial intentions to do. I get it. And if you want to see yourself that way, that's fine. And if I don't want to partake, I won't. I won't. And I won't even like make a stream about it or nothing like that. Just keep me and mine out of it. Don't feel the need to shame other groups in order to aggrandize your own. Because then we would be forced to point out certain things or just really just shatter your illusion. You walk down the street and you see yourself as a charismatic guy that got this beautiful woman that you call church pussy. But you're not. You're this guy with a fat ass bitch that got with you because you're the only nigga that'll fuck you. You and your kind. So there's a movie. There's a movie called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And it had a pimp in there, right? And he was a pimp player Mac. and he just got out of jail, and he was a pimp player Mac. And he had the platform shoes on, the hat, the cane. I think he had the fur coat. And he was a pimp player Mac. And he was strolling down the boulevard, the avenue, or the street. And the platform shoes had fish in it. Now, he did some time in jail. I don't know how the fish were alive, but it had some fish in it. Maybe when he got out of jail, the first thing he did was went to the pet farm, the pet store, and got some fish and put it in his shoes. But he's a pimp player Mac. And he's strolling down that boulevard. He's strolling. And the people are looking. They're looking at him because he is the pimp player Mac. He's the pimp player Mac of the street, avenue, or boulevard. So he is just strolling. He's strolling down the street. And they saying, oh my God, he got fish in his shoes. And he's like, yeah, I'm the man. Look at people looking at me and shit. And then somebody just shattered this nigga's illusion and said, hey, hey, look at you, aquarium nigga. And then everybody started busting out laughing because he's been in jail so long that the style has changed. And he looked foolish now. He looked foolish now because this was the 90s when the movie came out. I'm going to get you, sucker. You younger people don't know about it, but, you know, he looked foolish now. Like these, once again, separating the game dudes from the PUAs. Separating the game dudes from the PUAs. This is the delusion that they have. It's the same type of delusion. I see myself as a pimp player Mac rolling down the boulevard. And there's three ways that people are reacting to the pimp player Mac dynamic. One is, you know, somebody just calling them out and saying that shit. Two, which is what I typically do, is just laugh in silence because I want to see what kind of fish he has in those shoes tomorrow. And that's what I recommend that y'all do, really. I recommend that more brothers just laugh in silence. Like, oh shit. If I start laughing, he's not going to wear the shoes tomorrow. So okay, it was the late 80s. I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to say shit because I want to see what type of shoes this nigga has on tomorrow. That's the type of dude I am. I'm notorious for that. Like, you know, it won't be funny tomorrow if you laugh today. I am normally like, shut the fuck up when I see some shit like that. And then there's the third person who will actually, who thinks you're a joke, but they are encouraging the joke. Like, ooh, look at you. You just a smooth daddy. Look at that man with the fish in the platform shoes. He is a true pimp player Mac. There's a third person, and now that's cruel. That's cruel. So once again, the first person is the ones who will placate you and make you believe you're doing the right thing. The second is the ones that will ignore you and laugh tomorrow. The third is the ones who, or actually there's a fourth. The third is the ones who would just laugh at your ass right now and bust you out in front of everybody. And then there's the fourth, and those are the ones who will genuinely come to you and tell you about your shit. They'll pull you to the side and say, hey, brother, this is not a good look. This is not a good look, man. You probably been in it for a while and things changed since whenever the fuck fish in your shoes were cool, but it's not cool nowadays. That's the fourth. Now, the problem with the fourth, and people, shout out to Zero, have tried to be the fourth for these guys, is that if you pull him to the side, he'll say something like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Square? Because I'm a pimp player Mac. And until you understand or become a pimp player Mac, you do not understand the lifestyle of a pimp player Mac. Square? So once they start talking like that, it's like, okay, well, yeah, let them eat cake. So the fourth one is pretty much out of the question because their arrogance is going to blind them to any advice from somebody without fish in their shoes. Like I say, typically I'm the second one. I'm the one that will look at somebody like that, a fucking clown, and laugh in silence. I will look at them and laugh in silence. Until you start fucking with me and mine. I'll be like, oh shit, this nigga got fish in his shoes. And then you point out and say, hey, look at your cheap ass shoes. It costs $49.99. I'm like, wait, what? And he's not talking to me, but he's talking to somebody who has $49.99 shoes, knowing that I have $49.99 shoes on. I'm like, wait, did this nigga just poke fun at me and mine? I was going to laugh in silence. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a mercy kill. It is fucking mercy. The cruelest thing I could do. The cruelest thing I could do is the first one. And that is placate you. Tell you that you are a pimp player Mac. And stroke your ego. That is the cruelest thing I could do. The second cruelest thing I could do is just laugh in silence. I'm a second cruelest motherfucker. So that is a mercy. Like me pointing out the clownicity of you is a fucking mercy. That's a teddy bear. That's Mortal Kombat. That is Mortal Kombat. That is a friendship. No, it's not a friendship. You know what it is? It's a babality. It's a babality. It's turning you into a motherfucking baby. It's turning you into an infant so you can grow up and be a better person. It's the Mortal Kombat equivalent to that. It's giving you a second chance. Maybe you'll grow up and win a fight. That's what that is. It's a babality. Appreciate the super sticker, Melody. Thanks a lot. If you say so. I have plenty of $50 pair of shoes. Yeah, exactly. I'll be goddamned if somebody with overpriced shoes, like, listen, you wear your cost of shoes, I'll wear mine. And it's not arrogance that brought me to this thinking. I just don't really value shoes that way. Like, these shoes were made for walking, and that's what they're gonna do. But like, if you're chronically just downing the price of somebody's shoes, which is really just benefiting the shoe manufacturers because they all cost the same. One manufacturer just decided to put his name on it and paint the bottom red, and you spend literally like 100 times more on them. Hey, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm gonna laugh at the shit. I am going to laugh at the shit silently until you talk about my shoes. And you know something? If I'm nice, or if I want to be an asshole, I'm gonna just say, like, oh yeah, you balling with those shoes. Like, how much did they cost? $5,000. Oh, for real? For real? You must be balling. You spent $5,000 on those shoes? So where do you work? I work at Bed Bath and Beyond. Oh, okay, so you saved up. You saved up, you spent $5,000 and you got those shoes. That's what's up. That's what's up. Save some little bread, and you put your and then you got the stimulus and you went out and bought those shoes. That's what's up, man. I wish I had it like that, man. I mean, I do, and I could buy the shoes, but it wouldn't look right on me because I'm not a G like you. I'm not a player pimp Mac like you. But hey, I'm gonna just stick with these $50 shoes because I'm not as player pimp Mac as you. But hey, shit, I hope to one day have those shoes. Dude, that's the cruelest fucking thing I could do to you. Because not only, because it's worse than laughing in silence, because if I laugh in silence, then it's neutral. But by gassing you up, it makes you less susceptible to people who use the fourth method, and that is actually coming to you, pulling you to the side and saying that, oh, this is you look foolish. You look foolish. With a W, foolish. I wish they could see that this is the greatest mercy that they can receive. Having somebody go to your website and point out the fact that you're selling foot messages to people is a fucking mercy. It's telling you to fix your website. You're selling chair. You got a course called Chair. It's telling you to fix your fucking website. But you're not gonna do that, and the reason is because nah. How he gonna tell me to not say foot message? He don't have no game, even though he does. But he didn't take my course, and he didn't go to Wayne's gym. So what the fuck he know? Steven said, let's see, teach them GameChanger. I mean, I am. This is a mercy. This is a mercy, but I mean, in order to receive the mercy, you must first embrace the possibility that you might be a clown. Or else it's just like, okay, keep the fish in your shoes. Let's see. GameChanger got the man tied to a stake, cooking his feet. I mean, it's not even about that. Okay, maybe I'm going too far down this rabbit hole. But the reason why I'm doing this is to distinguish the difference between people like Red Supreme and people like Steve the Dean. I just want to make that difference clear. One group of people is attempting to help those who seek it without taking time out to say, I'm better than this particular group because they bitch broke and I'm not. Who in the fuck else talk like that unless provoked? Who in like what actual dating coach talks like that? Is there a group that go out to deliberately disparage other groups And then just to say, I'm not like that. All right, let's see. Now, I put the link out there for those who are interested, and let me go pin it up. But dang, what I want to say. Hold up. Why do you think that certain ones in this cohort, they try to give the appearance of exclusivity? Okay, hit the like button, people, please. They try to give the appearance of exclusivity. That's why they're saying I'm us and you're them, even though there was no qualification to be considered one of us. The only thing that you have to do for them to say that you're one of us is say, I'm a player pimp Mac. Like, okay, is there an initiation? Is there a hazing or anything? Or do you just let anybody who come up and say, I'm a player pimp Mac? Do you let anybody like that come up? And the answer to that is no. And the reason why they're not going to do that to just everybody is because, for one, they need somebody else to other. And for two, there's an understanding that there's going to be a certain cohort of people that will never co-sign you. So there's this there was this guy who was cool with, for a while, that was looking for a co-sign in his division. Hits me up and says, hey, you should be in this division. The division is somewhat of what you talk about. And this was early in my YouTube career. I was like, I can't co-sign that. I'm sorry. I can't. Certain things I can co-sign. That's not one of them. We still cool, but I can't co-sign that particular message. That particular form of behavior. I just can't. Or, so I'm not part of that division. Never claimed to be. Go back into history. Never claimed to be. So, Melody, Stephanie, what's on your mind?
Hi. Nothing. I just came up to say this is ridiculous. Are the game people on you again?
No, not since yesterday with the whole Wayne's Gym thing. But what happened was this morning, I get a message from someone saying that that Jessica X was on a Game Dudes panel defending herself against, I don't know, something. They were making claims that about her. And because I'm, I wake up later than everybody on the East Coast. I was like watching it in arrears. And then when Red Supreme came on and he had a show with her name in the title, I'm like, okay, so this is a new video. This is fresh. So I clicked on that. And Red Supreme was saying basically something to the effect that we're not dirty Mackers. And I typed in the chat room, I was like, well, Red, we cool. And I know you're not a dirty Macker, but there is a group of dudes who call themselves game dudes, much like you would associate with the title, I'm sure, who are doing this. Like, that's their only form of seduction. And
Is dirty Mac
I
and
think
talking down on.
yeah, exactly. Turn it, yeah. because remember we
Right.
was on your show and some dude was saying, oh fuck Rick James, he burnt, or Rick
Oh yeah.
Fox, he burnt.
Right.
Yeah. And then he said, oh, I would tell you, fuck that nigga. I think it was Ice Cube or something. You need to leave that lame nigga and get with me. Like, that's dirty Mac. Like, the whole thing is dirty Macking. They're just doing it on a collective basis. But he didn't know that. And I'm like, oh, he's not with them niggas. So I came here to make the distinction.
Yeah, it's like they're always, a lot of times, I'm not saying all of them because I'm cool with some of the game dudes, but it seems like they're always being negative. Like they're always trying to shame somebody or make somebody feel bad. Or like Keith XRP Junkie, he said, I was called a dummy and a super trick because we were not married and I was only with her for 6 months at a time. He's talking about someone who's now his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's what they do. They shame people for either providing for someone or they try to talk down on someone to make them look bad. But I don't understand where the negativity come from with these people.
Exactly. I mean, no judgment if somebody. Okay, for example, this was before you came here, but there was a dude here named Zen and Yumi, right? Now, for those of you who remember, great. For those of you who don't, I'll explain who he is. Zen is and I don't know if he still does this, but he's a truck driver who fucks a doll. He fucks a sex doll regularly. And he did this because he's been through, I think, like 3 divorces and lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process.
Right.
So, yeah. So he lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. And he's like, something, every time I try to have a healthy sex life with a woman, it's complicated. So I'll just fuck a doll. He was on this panel, no judgment. Like, hey, that's what you do. Do I fuck dolls?
Right. That's his business.
Yeah. Do I fuck dolls? No. I'm not here to say you're a doll fucking nigga. Bitches should fuck with me. That's dirty, man. Like right. You had a series of life circumstances that led you to doing this, and you are content doing this. Move on. Not gonna call you. Not gonna call you. Good. Hold up, brother. Not going to try to publicly degrade you in an attempt to upgrade myself because I don't need an upgrade personally. Now, I will address somebody in the chat, but after we speak to Steven. So Steven, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I've noticed something about people that do this so-called dirty macking, you call it. Like, it's kind of funny because most of the time when people do them type of things there, it's more or less like, I feel insecure about myself, so I like to project my insecurities upon someone else. So just say, for example, that guy that's fucking a doll. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's like, I don't do that, but he'll be like, I can start shaming him. Why are you fucking a doll? Why didn't you fuck a human being? Like, I don't know, who am I to place judgment upon someone else on what they do? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. I don't understand that. Like, people just pretty much just mind their business, and I don't know what's the problem.
Well, it's an attempt to self-aggrandize. So, and you do it when you're a kid, and I get it. It is largely for getting sex. You just say anytime you get, F them West Oakland niggas, you need to fuck with an East Oakland one. That's just group dirty macking.
Okay.
But don't be surprised if West Oakland retaliates. Like, what the fuck? Why would you say some shit like that, not expecting to retaliate? Like, don't do shit like that. That's something you just learn in adulthood.
Are these individuals married? Like, do they have wives, children? Like, I don't understand. Because...
Well, I'm not sure because it's a constantly growing segment, but the ones I know of, the prominent ones are not. They haven't.
Steve is married. Yeah, he's married.
Oh, that's right. He's married. I don't know. Fat women.
You got something going on with Mr. Lucario?
I don't count fat women, but well, the only thing I have.
I'm talking about Mr. Lucario. You got something going on?
No. So the only thing I have against Lucario is he had a video about dudes dating ugly bitches. I'm like, I guess if you're an ugly dude, but you know, you probably should have a higher bar and higher standard. But see, they never really word it like that. They never really said they don't say stuff like men should lower their physical standard or something like that. Men should be more.
Lucario he never actually mentioned that. That's one thing I do like about him. He never, you know.
Lucario did. He had a video in that title with that title.
So, are these guys?
Here's clickbait or something like that, but it wasn't exactly what you thought.
But see, here's the thing with Lucario. And so this is me just going off the title. On Lucario, he said, guys who have issues or who are overly concerned with the woman's look have issues. See, that's an attack.
Was that on the title or was
that was on the title. The title alone was an attack. But see, I don't attack him because I'm not familiar with his body of work.
Yeah,
you know,
I am. Yeah. So this probably might be clickbait and something like that.
Okay.
So subject matter might be totally different. Like, yeah, because he always encourages guys, you know what? You know, I tell him guys be telling other guys, okay, work your way up there and get comfortable talking to women, talk to ones you're not attracted to, you know that, and work your way up from there. I think you just mentioned that in this video also too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I found cringeworthy in my younger years when they told me pick the girls you're not attracted to get comfortable. I'm like, no. If I want to talk to a female I'm sexually attracted to, I'm gonna talk to attractive females. I'm not lowering my standards like that to feel. I'm already comfortable talking to ugly bitches anyway. But if I want to talk to them like I'm trying to mate with them, intimate with them, date them seriously, I'm going to talk to attractive women I'm attracted to, not someone that they feel like I should. Yeah. That's when I agree with Corio. Like, yo, talk to women that you're sexually attracted to. That makes no sense.
Okay.
Go to the lower tier and work your way up like that way. No. Yeah,
no, I mean, okay, so I don't really have a need for like dating coaches like that. And I'm not saying that I'm just that dude. I'm just saying that, you know, every now and again I'll pick some good advice, you know, from AMS, ARC even. You know, I mean, I think that you should talk to women with the intention of, is this woman looking to waste your time?
Yeah, exactly.
And you should be more straightforward, however, not completely direct as he describes mode 1. So yeah, I can get what he's saying.
ARCs work more.
Yeah.
But order them, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So it's all about their content, and not having researched, you know, Lucario's content, just looked at some couple of titles. I'm like, okay, I mean, I'll take it or leave it. You know, I'm not gonna go over. And the only people I do is people like Steve who do shit, who do fuck shit. You know, who come out the gate insulting people. You know, if you come out the gate on some bitch broke shit.
He does that a lot. And even when this might sound like at times that you might say something that you agree with him on and stuff like that, you make it sound like, you know, your view is still disingenuous and is this way, that this way. Like, I'm like, damn, Steve, sometimes they be agreeing with you. With your point, you still sound like an attack on them. Like,
wait, is that the same guy that says eating batty?
Yeah, that's that dude.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, don't make the woman first and everything. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, like, you know, but sometimes when you agree on those points, that's
giving tutorials
crazy.
How to lick bum hole, basically.
Yeah.
I think
he's literally brown
like, he wants to sound like his word is all law and right 100%. You know, kind of based on his experience, but your experience not gonna be everybody else's experience. I know you want to have high hopes for us men to be on top, you know, be men the way we're supposed to. But it's still not going to work that way, you know, with the way he's constantly thinking, the way he is and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their own philosophy in terms of so-called game. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's his philosophy about eating bumholes. I don't know. I can't really speak on what he does.
You got it right there. Yeah.
You know, pretty much. He can do what he wants. You know, we can speak on it, obviously, because he put himself out there, obviously. But it's just...
But he will show his haters and everything.
Wait, gentlemen, can we really agree on eating bum holes? Because, you know, shit comes out of it. I'm just trying to make that clear. Like,
no, it's not my thing. I think Melody had her bum eaten. So once and that goes back into the thing. Listen, fellas, if you want to eat bum hole, eat bum hole. Like, that's, you know, I mean, it's not my thing. I'm not gonna judge you. Like, and I just
that's on you.
Honestly, GC, it's not my thing either.
Melody.
Huh?
So,
but you don't like your groceries being eaten, Melanie?
I told you I had it done and it tickled. I laughed the whole time, and then I tried to get up,
Is
and
it a
he
bad
wouldn't let me.
tickle or a good tickle?
It was
Tickle.
a weird tickle, and I was laughing, and it's like it was turning him on that I was laughing. It was so weird. I don't know, but yeah, like he wouldn't stop, and I told him to stop, and he wouldn't. So, but it was weird. It was a weird experience for
He
me.
was love your groceries, dude. That's why he ain't stopped.
He won't stop. It was so weird. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't know.
Each their own. You know, I can't really. Isn't it? I mean, it's just weird because you can't be sharing bottles if guys be doing that. So, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
hilarious.
yeah, I mean it's not my thing, but you know I try not to judge. Only time I judge is when a guy's being taken advantage of, and what is being taken advantage of is expecting a certain outcome and not receiving it. Like if I see that coming, then I'm going to judge it because I say that your tactic is not going to yield the results that you're looking for. So if he thinks that eating ass is going to, you know, get him the pussy, I'm probably going to be like, I think, brother, she might just get you to eat her ass all the time. Like, I mean, and that's just something I'm doing to help you. You know, I'm not saying, but I'm not going to come out and be like, oh, you just an ass licking nigga just for the sake of saying that and saying I'll never eat ass. No, that's childish. But no, what I would say is that, listen, if that's what you're leading with, if you're leading with, you know, eating her ass and you think that that's going to give you, you know, respect or submission, if your ultimate goal is respect or submission, you're barking up the wrong booty.
Doesn't that sound thirsty to you? Like, listen,
well, it sounds hungry because they're eating ass.
You know, it's just,
yeah,
I'll eat your ass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds hungry, but I mean, so, but if they say, listen, my goal in life is to eat Melody's ass, then I would say, ask. Like, ask. I don't think that you know, and you might get, you know, I mean, and you're happy, you know, you leave Melody's ass with a shit-eating grin, you know, then hey, you know, more power to you. That's you fulfilled your fantasy. But if your fantasy is to leverage this into something more, I would say that's not really an effective tactic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, no. It's gonna benefit one partner more.
Wait, hold on. Did he say if you don't eat ass, then you ain't got game? Did he say that?
Wait, who? What?
Did he say if you don't eat ass, you ain't got game?
No, he didn't say that. I wouldn't put Steve in the same mat. Ass eating is part of his course. Is part of his courses.
He has like a sexual intimate course, and he wants to break down details how to do this to a woman. Is
he a comedian? Is this guy a comedian or like?
No, he's actually dead serious. He makes videos of himself fucking sex dolls and teaching people how to fuck. Allegedly, I never
he breaks it down because in some factors, some guys don't know how to please a woman at all. Period. So he's kind of doing a breakdown instruction how to do it and everything. So when you're with a woman, you know exactly what to do.
No, but we got an example here. Melody said it tickles, so it doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah, I was saying depending on the woman also too. Like, you know, okay, you want to eat her groceries, but she might not be into that. But you know what I'm saying? Okay, try another tactic. Okay, don't go for groceries. Go for the honey pot. And then, you know, this is how you look the honey pot.
You talking groceries? What's bum hole got to do with groceries? Huh?
It's an analogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all like those, you know the porn star Nita Hartley?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, she has instruction videos also too, like intimate sexual instruction videos also too.
Okay.
So that's what Stevie doing too, but it's for the guys and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Or you know how to text a woman, this, that, how to communicate with women. Yeah, he just breaks it down to do this like the For Dummy series books, like that. Break it down to a smaller detail so guys will, you know, understand how to do, you know, talk to women and be intimate with women and all that, you know, man.
So he's a dating coach.
Yeah.
/
That's his style of dating coach, yeah.
So
here's the thing, and here's the difference. If he left it at that, and Mel, you know what I'm talking about. If he just left it at that, that's fine. But he has to always come with the attacks. He has to always other. Listen, if I don't agree with your dating code, like I don't agree with AMS on some, taking a woman's soul thing. He be on that shit. I don't agree with it. I don't attack him because he don't attack people with his shit. Like, as long as you just understand that guys are going to be on different levels in life when it comes to that. Really, guys are on different levels of and everything, like, different basketball playing levels, different, cooking levels, and just general life, different economic levels, just general life levels. If you could just leave it at that, then I'll just leave you alone. But nah, when you try to put a label on somebody and then attack that label, then you're showing your character. Then I have to point out.
I think also too, he sometimes sell a guarantee, and that might be the problem. Why he over defends it hard the way he does. At least ARC, Alan Curry, he doesn't guarantee it's gonna work. He doesn't sell a guarantee, and that's why he got a lot of customer base the way he does, because he doesn't sell a guarantee. Nothing in life is a guarantee and everything.
Right.
And
so what is he telling people that it's a guarantee that if you do this and follow these instructions?
They can make it sound like that.
Yeah, he's implying. He's not directly saying that, but he does imply it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does say that, you don't get bitches, I get bitches. And if you want to learn how to get bitches, then listen to this course. I didn't say the course was gonna get you bitches, like is what he would say. But now you're more comfortable in not getting bitches, is what he really sells, is taking comfort in not getting bitches.
It sounds like a scam.
It's a scam. And trust me, I see no reason to call out scams unless you're trying to scam somebody. And
he attack other dating coaches also too, unless they on the same. He feels they on the same wavelength and stuff. When he was used to be on the 7, he attacked Myron Gaines and stuff, and Solo, they got into it in that episode. Yeah, they started not do business with him because now he goes on with the threats now,
That's my point. That's what Dirty Macs do. That's what Dirty Macs
to kick him off the 7. Yeah,
that's what Dirty Macs do. They attempt to aggrandize themselves at the expense of others. They cannot work in cohesion with other people.
I think he might attack Kevin Samuels also. Yeah.
Wait, how many women does he have? A lot of women in his company, or is this
he used to be a gigolo, back in the day also.
Listen. Hold on, fellas. There's no credence in that. Used to being a gigolo. Do you know how many just disgusting bitches there are in the world? And okay, I'm gonna put it like this. And this is especially true. MOT, you can vouch for this. This is especially true for the 90s. Most black men can do that shit. Yeah. In the 90s. If you're willing to fuck an unfuckable bitch regularly and eat her ass, you too
can get money from her the way he did. Yeah, that's in the 90s. They do that in the 90s anyway, period. 90s do that.
Yeah. Like any black dude can do you know how many times I've been propositioned for that? And I have to tell him no. And I'm talking about, because of BDSM, I get it from like the husband or the lover. Some white dude want me to fuck his wife or something like that, and punch him in the face and shit. Yeah, exactly. And I turn them down because fuck your fantasies. So it's shit like that. Anybody could do it. That's not anything spectacular.
This YouTube.
He just did it.
Come up to me like that.
Some things is just too low, and this isn't me shitting on people who do such things. Some things is just too degrading for me to do. But there is no bottom for a nigga like Steve. Like, cause there's no bottom. Somebody say, hey, I give you 85 cents to eat my ass. Like, I'll do it for $1.
Wait, it's funny because I watched the stream yesterday as well. So they're getting on to you about you buying a stove for a female, but there's no complaints about this guy giving tutorials on eating bumhole. Like, you see, I don't understand this. Does that really? That baffles me.
Yeah. Hey, MOT, I know your connection is bad, so come back and I'll give you the mic when you could get back.
You still talking about the damn stove shit? Come on.
Yeah, man. Yesterday I was watching, I was just observing. I was just thinking to myself, like, they're really complaining about because he bought a stove for a female.
Well, yeah, so as a gift after she treated him of 2 weeks worth
what's
of
the
vacation.
business if I buy a stove for a female?
I have no idea. I mean, apparently, according to Wayne's Gym,
It's tricking would make no damn sense. Tricking with me, I putting the money on the table or even a gift, and then you give me some ass afterwards.
And in this case, I would have to like show up to her house like with the stove, having that budget. Yeah, it's very weird, but you know, he wanted to call it tricking because this was his attempt to try to other people. Like, oh, the other guy is a trick. I don't trick.
Oh, you
know,
got some.
I only fuck those who love me, or some shit like that. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing. You know, have at it. I mean, you know, have at it.
Why? Wait, why do guys like shaming each other? Like I don't understand that. It's weird because
it's dirty macking.
Like it's like
whether you're macking for clients in whatever business endeavor you have, or you're macking for the attention of women.
Wow.
Because you see, if this was a private conversation, there would be no need. But because, you know, women are listening, there was a need.
Oh, okay. I see what's happening now. I'm just trying to understand. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah. So now you see. So women are listening and potential clients are listening. So he's basically saying, you know, ladies, I don't need the trick because after I lick my lips, you see my picture. I'm gonna lick my lips, and you're gonna come over to Wayne's Gym.
Wow, this is really hilarious.
It is hilarious, and like I was saying before, I generally just laugh in silence. But just don't other me in mind. Like, you know, don't like other somebody who buys a chick a gift, a chick that was good to him. Like, dope. Because he didn't go to Wayne's Gym.
And, she didn't like you, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't like you, and I based that on she didn't give you money. Like, so
you know, I don't know where these guys come up with these things. It's just I don't know.
It's very weird. It's very weird that I would ask her for anything. I mean, first of all, she let me stay with her, which is, you know, like something.
She asked for your company.
Well, I mean, but no, it's something of value. I saved on a hotel. Like, she didn't rent room to me. She just let me stay there.
Yeah.
But I mean, does she have money to give? Like, so, does she? And would I want it?
Yeah.
Like, would I want it? Like, if she just came to me and said, like GC, you know, here is my baby's milk money. Here you go. Now, please give me the dick. Would I take it? What the fuck?
GC.
I have no idea.
It's a shame that they want to shame you for providing for a woman you were dating and who let you stay at her house for free, showed you around Dominican Republic. She was basically doing all that for free for you.
Exactly.
So what's I don't understand the problem with that.
You know what?
I never
think
understood.
I know what is, Melody.
You hear more complaints from black men than black women.
I think I know what the problem is.
Right. What's the problem?
I think these gentlemen are not used to a nice feminine female, just, you know, showing GameChanger around the Dominican Republic, you know,
could be
some good hospitality and good sex. So, you know, then they probably don't get that themselves. So when they see someone like him traveling out and, you know, having a nice time, they're like, what is this guy doing? He's traveling outside of America. You know?
No, wait, I just want to ask him a question. Was she a prostitute or something?
No.
So what is why are they calling it tricking? If she wasn't a prostitute and you were dating her, why is it tricking? Because she's from another country?
No, because I'm from another tribe. I'm not a gang dude. Therefore, it must be tricking.
Yeah,
because I didn't go to
the reputation you keep hearing about the guy going to DR and stuff like that. So they want to put him in the same category.
Well, I mean, and also Melody,
makes no sense.
And also Melody, they called me a trick so they can say publicly that they're not tricks.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
they
the fact that majority don't they actually be trick cheesing in the strip clubs like crazy.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that. I was gonna say these are the same dudes who's up in a strip club every weekend, literally tricking on women in America. They don't even know. And yet you were dating a woman and you were tricking? Like, it makes no sense.
The majority of them ain't even getting ass. And if they are, they paying way more than what they feel he's paying. She juicing out with the tips and the drinks and all that shit, yo, for real. You see, if you grew up in the hood, you see that a whole lot with D-boys. With some chicks in the projects and shit like that.
Right.
I see that a whole lot all the time with all the D-boys, you know, giving money to chicks on a bill and shit like that, or giving some money and taking them out, and then playing it off like that's some macking game skills and shit like that, for real.
Yeah, you know, we from the same hood, so we from the same neighborhood.
You see stuff like this all the time.
Exactly.
Like, yo, you ain't getting us for free. You still giving us some money. You indirectly tricking and everything. That's what that is. That's not direct tricking. You're indirectly tricking, making it seem like your game is by your word alone is working. No, you giving us service like that. Damn, what was that dude from Dead Presidents? That what was his name? That was giving his baby mom money and shit.
Cuddy.
Yeah, Cuddy. Yeah, dude's indirect tricking shit.
Exactly.
I mean, the fact that he would get his ass fucking whooped. Did he die in that movie? I haven't seen that in a while.
He went to jail.
Okay, yeah. Jeez.
I never seen it. Can we watch it for movie night? I never seen it.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there. I'll put that on the list.
Yeah.
Cool.
Game. Who's that guy that was crying? That Jessica X made him cry. So.
Oh man, yo, drink to Jessica X.
Wait, she made somebody cry today. Hold up. Today?
Ladies and gentlemen, no. We'll get into that. All right, let's get rid of this nigga.
Wow, that's funny.
All right.
DJ Kuda's
and your block. Yeah. All right, so
what happened?
And they say the dude that was crying so much, he actually was violating against the dudes on the panel, and then she went in debate with Jessica.
Hold on. We'll talk about that. Let MOT rock because he's driving. Hold on, brother.
Oh yeah, MOT.
Let MOT rock because he's driving, and we don't know when he'll lose the signal.
Okay.
All right.
MOT, what's talking about?
Actually, I just escaped from a snowstorm in Colorado. I'm in New Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So. Oh yeah, man! It's about to be historic. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be bigger than the one in 2003. Yeah. So yeah, I got
in New York right now. It's like we got sun.
Yeah,
might be on his way up here.
All right. So you have to realize that anybody who claims to be a fucking gigolo, you better fucking start proving the woman that you was a gigolo to, because I worked high up in corporate America, and let me tell you, the type of black dudes that they had coming around these unbelievably unattractive fucking women. Thought that there was the shit because they got access to the hole. And trust me, these were some of the worst looking people on the planet. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to put that off on other people as actual experience. No, you had a good experience in a bad situation that you can't even show off the woman at. Like, look, you're the one who's going to have to show off this woman. And I've never seen a situation where a woman that looks like Melody actually would be an actual gigolo to a dude like that dude. I've never seen it. Like, everybody is lying about their experiences. And since they're the experts in their field, it's okay to talk to everyone else, but it's going to be, you can't sit on that mountain forever of not providing any proof. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like, this stuff only means shit to other BANs. And that's what they're trying to train up. They're trying to train up a new generations of BANs to start dealing with these older women. Like, these dudes are the partners of the F word, with last name internism. That's what they're here to do. They're here to pass on their fake experience as actual experience, so that way you can give your best self to older people. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. And when you mention no proof, or you say that they're experts, like, what made them experts?
Asserted evidence. Like, listen, that which can be attained without evidence can be defended without evidence. It can be maintained without evidence. There's no evidence that this stuff is true. Okay, so like in science, there's this thing called peer-reviewed studies. Now, the peer-reviewed studies just happen to be other dudes who are practicing the same con on everybody else. This is why they only talk to each other. It's not hard to figure out.
But there is some, there is some integrity amongst PhDs and professors. There's some bad apples, but because I read scientific studies, I'm like, okay, if this guy said it, if this doctor said it, then it has some credence, but I mean, they at least had to get their PhD. Like, these guys don't even have any credentials whatsoever. They're just saying,
No.
yeah, he's right because like, I'm not a PhD in computer science. So if I were to say something, it would hold no weight. Like, and I couldn't even qualify somebody else, an actual PhD, because it has no weight. I would actually have to go to a PhD and, get a byline, or a mention from him just to get my actual ideas out. Einstein had to do that,
GameChanger. Here's what they're setting up to do. I can go out tomorrow and start the National Association of Dating Coaches and game. I can make up a whole bunch of ramifications that make them go sit down with all type of clinical psychologists and make that as the actual thing and turn around and sue every single person who's selling this type of nonsense outside of that, unless they go through all this quote unquote training. That's what happens when you don't have an association that verifies the nonsense that you're doing. The only thing you got to do is connect it to legal, medical, and psychological ramifications for the stuff that you actually teach. Because this stuff is actually entertainment. It is not a field of science. It's mimicking several fields of science. Because they're trying to help somebody with a problem that they're actually trying to encourage them to have. It's kind of like a bad preacher who tells you the good news about the J dude. And then all of a sudden you can come to church and give us some of your tithe money, so that way we can continue telling you about the dude. But if you haven't heard of the actual problem, would you actually end up in the church? The answer is probably you wouldn't. Like, this is all this is. It's not hard.
So Brittany asked a question and Zero answered it to a certain extent. And I want to add years, possibly decades of street credibility.
Oh, that's a hard question.
Well, yeah, no, Brittany's question was, how do you get a PhD in hoes? I guess you have to be a pimp. Possibly. I mean, that's basically, if you're adept at getting women, then you can use it for pimping. You can use that ability for pimping. Absolutely. So, yeah, he would be considered a PhD in pimping, but not just because he's a pimp. But to Zero's answer, I definitely agree with that. I would add to that just years of showing a sustained pattern of doing this, I mean, because we all looked up to the dude that was able to do this. And if he had pointers, then, you would follow those pointers. Like, if you played basketball with a dude and you seen somebody particularly skilled at it, you would bend his ear on it. That's how you get credibility. But yeah.
Yeah, but this is loose ball fumble pimping, though. It's kind of like the pimps left the field. There's a loose ball fumble on the actual field, and the squares picked it up and ran it to the damn home team. Right. That's all it is. Like they're like playing like the Stanley Cup with the pimping.
So
the Stanley Cup don't belong to them. It has to go back to the Stanley Cup Association so someone else can win it.
So I don't know if you was here earlier, but I was making a distinction between PUAs or, people like, and I know some of these are not your friends, but like ARC, AMS, people like maybe Red Supreme, just those dudes versus this new wave of game dudes that just, is tainting their name. Did you hear what I'm saying about that?
No, but I think I have the summation because I have heard you talk about it before. Okay. Something that's currently fraudulent cannot be based on something only if the past thing was fraudulent too. Like, so a person just can't say the arc reactor, who has not showed any levels of mode 1, it's all believable stories. And the other guy who is, second to market, which they make a lot of money and they really don't have to talk to anybody. The second group of the same people is showing how whack the first group of people were. It's just that they didn't have ridiculous representations of what they were in the future to show them that their stuff is questionable as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, they should have formed some type of coalition to lock these people out. As much as I don't like the first group of people. They have.
It seemed like they have. You don't really see much interaction between the first and second group.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, that's a lack of association. I mean, the association still ties one to the other. I mean, just because they don't interact, they still are interacting over the same thing, unfortunately.
Well, you can't stop that, you know.
No.
It's kind of like when niggas call themselves black men, you know.
Yeah.
Like they're forcing the association, you know. Like I ain't with you. I am not with you. I'm not part of your thing, you know. I mean, no offense, do what you're gonna do, but you know, real talk, if you behave in such a way, don't equate that behavior to blackness. Equate that to whatever branch of being black you want to do, but don't just say that that's general behavior of black people.
Correct. And that's all they're trying to do is pass along a subculture that they're not a part of, because they know the other people are not protecting it. And that's what happens when you don't protect something. It normally gets destroyed by people who you should have locked out in the first place. Now they have no way of getting these people to stop claiming XYZ thing. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not on their side, and I don't know what they're going to do.
You're
I
right.
have no idea.
You're right. You are perfect. You are perfectly right, because you can't. There are certain things that there is consequences if you are not a part of it, but you pretend to be. Gangs come to mind, also fraternities, things like that. You can't just go around saying that you're a part of this without repercussions, because you diminish the brand. I don't say that. There was a dude that I never met him, but a chick told me that her ex was a Crip from South Oakland. I was like, there's no Crips in Oakland, and there's no such place as South Oakland. Like, he just lied to you because you think Oakland niggas are sexy, and apparently you think Crips are sexy.
But, and if you don't know any better, it works on
her. She wasn't from the area. But when I told her where I was from, and then she said, "Oh, my ex was such and such," and I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Oh, that nigga was lying to you," like, you know. But I mean, since it doesn't exist, there's no one to really retaliate against them. So he could just, I guess he could make that claim. Like, who's gonna make mad? The South Oakland dudes, or like, you know.
And also, GameChanger, what's the likelihood that you run across somebody who's going to check that immediately? Yeah, you know, we had stuff going on. They're like the stolen valor stuff. Like I used to be, you know, going around the country. You have these people with all these ribbons on and claiming they did all this shit. And I'm like, dude, some of those are 30-year ribbons. There ain't no way you just served one tour and you got all that shit. But this person was in the area for months, making it look like they were part of some stuff that they clearly wasn't a part of. And that type of stuff happens all the time.
Yes. Oh, get this. You're gonna laugh at this one. You're gonna laugh at this one. There was a chick I used to work with, a project manager, and she was older. She was probably like mid 50s to mid 60s, and she said that her dad, though he was like in the Air Force at some point in his life, and he walked around with the hat on. He walked around with a Tuskegee Airman hat.
Come on, dude.
And he's a black dude. And what you gonna know? Like, most people are not that old and can tell. But you see an old black man with a Tuskegee Airman hat on, what you gonna think? And he just walked around and bathed in the compliments and shit. Like, yes. His own daughter out. I never met the dude, but his own daughter outed him for that shit. Like, I'm like, oh, your dad is fucked. She told me the story. I don't know what to say. I was like, damn, your dad is just that dude that does shit like that. My grandpa would never do no shit like that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh my god. And dude, your reputation is like done in the area, and this is why I always live around military bases, so that way I don't hulk out and end up putting one of these dudes down if I'm ever not in one of those areas. Because you always see this shit across the country, especially while traveling. I see some shit, I'm like, dude, listen, those ribbons don't even belong together. I'm not sure who you lying to, but this is some bullshit. And then they have like the most disgusted and destroyed look on their face while everybody is there. I'm like, all right, man, why don't I Google where all these ribbons came from? Yeah, and I'm sorry. I'm not these guys' friend, but you got to protect your brand. Like, exactly. I'm sorry. to be giving these people advice, but Ron Wills, Alan Roger Curry, and what's the guy, the big one, AMS, should have came together behind the scenes, formed some type of coalition or cooperation to where they are who they are. They have this amount of experience, and like, remember when O'Shea did the video, like the actual dating coaches that are stuff like that. Yeah, they could have said, you got to have a book, you got to have some subscribers, you got to have some people who actually believe you. So that way there can be all this stuff. So when you have the new people just coming out claiming and they don't have that stuff, they just weakened your product. And you can't call them out because it makes you look dumb as shit for not protecting your ass.
Exactly.
But MOT,
I call it blue magic for a reason. I own it. I put my stamp on it. You know.
but
You
MOT,
can't take my shit and whack it down and call it something and call it blue magic. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, it's that argument. My bad, Pablo. Go ahead.
yeah. But MOT, the virtue signaling among them is so
Oh,
strong. Is so strong that is an impediment to their linking up. Let me give you an example. So last night on Kuda's channel, they were going on and on about squares. Okay, well, you're a square, and we know things that you don't know. We know you, but you don't know us. That kind of a thing. But here's the deal. And we're not calling you a square because it's a put down. We're calling you a square because you just don't know what you don't know. That's kind of like saying, well, with all due respect, and then right after the all due respect, the disrespect is coming.
Right.
And so they think that we have some we're on a crusade to extol the values of tricking. What we're against is the virtue signaling that, hey, look at me, I'm a better man than you, ha ha ha, that kind of a thing. Their virtue signaling is so strong that they kind of eat each other, and it doesn't allow them to coalesce into a coherent message there. So that's part of it, and that's all. Actually, that's what I came up here to say, is that nobody's up here saying, oh, you should go out and trick. No, what we're saying is other groups of people have managed for this not to be an issue. You got, and this is why I like to use the Donald Trump and Hugh Hefner example. One of those men is a bachelor, and straight out, he basically puts the money on the dresser and says, I'm going to take care of all of you financially, and we have an arrangement, and this is what it is, and you will provide me with companionship, sex, fun, whatever. The other goes through a traditional route and says, I'm going to get married, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to give you this, and if we ever break up, I'm going to give you a golden parachute to say goodbye. So, and they don't judge each other for it.
Exactly. That's the dirty macking. That's to say you're other and others trick. Like, and you should mess with me because I'm not. And MOT, that's what I was saying earlier, is the difference between this new wave of quote unquote game guys versus the old. And that is this new wave. Their only seduction technique is not mode 1. It's not, focus on your purpose. It is, these other dudes are lame, but I am game. It's always that, like, because apparently, according to Pablo, they came out last night to just say, oh, they tricking over there, but over here we don't trick. It's like, oh God.
Yeah, but here's another thing that people don't get, or they do get it, but see, you have to notice the actual pattern. Like, let's say they come into space, they want the gravitas of that person. They immediately start shout out to insert name, right? And then all of a sudden, since they're shouting out that person, they think that they're on that person's level. And like, there's one content creator. If you say shout out to him, he will come on your platform and go over his old nigga tales with you. When it comes to sex, he will do that. He will do that. All you have to do is just say shout out to a certain individual, and he will come onto your platform and wave his dick in your face and all that type of shit. Yeah, so that is what happens, and it's like because it happened with another YouTuber from Baltimore as well. Once he had like the 3-letter word game panel, he started embodying everybody who was on that panel. who was talking to us. And that's what it becomes. It becomes a persona based off of simple conversation. And you see how easy and simple it is because they come out and they do the same thing that the person is doing on the panel. The only thing that they're doing is they're copying and mimicking what they actually see on the panel as proof of their part of what they're part of. I can guarantee you right now, you go to that city, doesn't matter. These people do not know you in these clubs. They don't care, dude. They don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
They would know pimps. They know all like me when I was club owner. I knew all the pimps. I knew all that shit. And subsequently, my place turned into a hangout spot, and it subsequently got shut down because I thought that type of attention would be good until it wasn't. But this is what I'm talking about. They're just playing the role of the other person playing the role. And then now he think he's the new guy. And it's like, you can't call him fake because if you call him fake, you're actually calling the other guy fake. And it's like,
exactly.
How do you protect these people from using your shit? They fucking your shit up.
Well, the web of no, it's kind of like if the quote unquote Tuskegee Airmen, got together with a group of other old black dudes. And if you call one of them out, you call them all out. So they are going to protect each other. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, during the presidential campaign, John Kerry and George W. Bush Jr. And you know how they came up with the Swift Vote veterans for whatever the fuck it was.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who actually performed the same duties that John Kerry did, but they did not get a Medal of Honor. But since those people were in the same area, by calling out one of those people, you called out the entire group. So the entire group went after the person who brought the criticism to the entire group. You don't see that with dating coaches. Mm-hmm. That's what should have happened. They should have rose up. It should have been a panel. It should have been 1 million view hit video. It should have been something like the 6 or the 7 or the 9 or how many of those people are left in that group. And they come up with like, we are dating coaches. These people are not dating coaches. These people are not dating coaches because of the certain specific type of things.
Well, I think that they might. I think that before recently, they are not really realizing how it's affecting their brand in a negative way.
It is.
Because these dudes are dirty macking. Like, let's be clear, they're creating enemies, and then and that's why when people in this space be like, game niggas this, game niggas that, they might get grouped in with it. It's
correct.
Like, wow, we're not talking about you. You cool. You do your own thing. You have your own show. You write your own books, and you give advice that a person can take or leave. You're not out calling people this because they don't agree with you or they don't want to accept your logic.
And you can't say the business practices are the same either. I mean, like that's what happens when you have ethics within a group. Like,
well, it's not for one group. For one group, they're doing it for credibility. They're doing it because they want you to agree with them, and they're basically faking it till they make it. They're like, okay, if I could convince people that I am a player, then I will become a player. And perhaps there's truth in that. So one group is faking it till they make it, and the other group is selling books and selling consultations and stuff like that.
Correct. Because okay, let's compare 2 different people. We have STD and the arc reactor, right? Uh-huh. There are 2 different ways that these people come on the panels and actually talk to people about their specific product.
Right.
There's 2 different ways. And you can't say that there is no difference between the 2 because there is. And it's like, it's like me. I did a whole live stream on why he lost to AMS, by the way. But he didn't follow any of the advice for it, by the way. 2 hours of business, what you can change to actually catch up, and he did none of it. Not a single thing. Okay. And that's where we're at. It's like, dude, listen, you got to be able to protect your brand. It's like this. You have thinking black men, and now you have like the MAGA revolution, or else the actual enlightened MAGA movement. Mm-hmm. Fuck nigga enterprise that Hero calls it. So now they're trying to take all the actual terminologies of a group that they're not a part of, and then call themselves part of that group. It's like, No, you're still connected to bottom barrel women at the end of the day. So therefore, you can't be thinking black man. Therefore, you cannot be SYSBM. Therefore, you cannot be black male agency. You can't be any of that because the specific thing that ties you to this group is the outcome. Since the only thing you're doing is cloud chasing off of the name, you are not part of the group.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, so basically, because they're not going to just call them out as a separate group, I made this video to do that for them. You know, so you're welcome. You're welcome, actual, you know, dating coaches and shit like that, and actual quote unquote game dudes. You're welcome. Now that this distinction is made. You know,
there has to be contrast. There has to be contrast.
Yeah.
There has to be.
It's like,
again, I don't want to give these people advice, but there has to be contrast. Otherwise, by default, over time, your actual credibility will be evaporated by the new people who you refuse to lock out. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, I get the fact that they can't really lock them out. First of all, they don't want to get these guys' attention. You know?
No, that either.
Yeah. But because, you know, you have to acknowledge their existence in order to lock them out. But so that's the first problem. But the second problem is that, what was it? You don't want to give them attention. Oh, and the second problem is there's really no way to enforce it because it's online.
Correct. That's what I said.
Yeah, but like prison gangs, there was I seen a special, and there was a guy claiming that he was in a gang, a white supremacist gang that he wasn't in, he wasn't a part of, and yeah, they killed him.
Yes, them dudes don't play around with that shit at all. Like the same thing with the Hells Angels and MS-13 or any of that stuff. Man, them people do not play with you associating your name with their shit. Just like some of these rappers claiming some of these gangs, and these dudes like, man, you are a platinum selling artist. It's time for you to play up, or else we're gonna put hands on you next time you come to town. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So white guys, don't do that. Don't start your own motorcycle club and, you know, spell hell HEIL and then angels. You know, don't try to make a motorcycle club called, you know, Hell's Angles with a similar logo and motorcycle your way around California. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're asking for consequences.
Yes. And all those people I name are completely good people, and I don't want to meet you guys ever. So
I met one because they have a chapter in Oakland. I met one, and they used to come to East Bay Dragons event. Those of you from town know what I'm talking about. But this one wasn't from the Oakland branch. He was from a northern branch. I'm not gonna say which one. But he was a real cool dude. He invited me to one of his things, but you know, I didn't go. I'm not really much on a biker event. I went to the East Bay Dragons thing because that was more for young people, but I didn't go to his Hells Angel party.
Yeah, I seen somebody actually mistakenly, drunkenly knock down one of their bikes. Man, they get that dude to work. Yeah, man. So they don't play around.
No, but I mean, they're enforcing standards. You know,
yes, they are.
Like if he actually ran into a real Tuskegee Airmen, you know, then they would enforce their standards, I'm sure, you know. Like, people don't fuck around. Like, if you're in the Navy but you're not a SEAL, just don't say you're a SEAL. You're asking to be fucked with.
Here's the thing. I watched out of Special Forces. I would tell people in a heartbeat. I would never go around telling people don't pararescue or combat control. Dude, they can look that stuff up in a heartbeat. I would never go around saying that type of stuff. Type of stuff that they had to do. Nah, man, I'm good.
Yeah. Pablo said McDowell's. Yeah. These niggas are McDowell's. So I just did it today because, you know, like if I'm going to talk about a group of people, I'm just going to listen. I'm talking about McDowell's. I'm not talking about McDonald's. I'm talking about McDowell's.
GoBots, man.
Yeah, I'm talking about the GoBots. No. How many parents mistakenly got their kids the wrong thing for Christmas? They got their
Nah,
kids
man.
the wrong shit.
Nah, man. Like my parents got that shit, and they was like, you know what? They transformed too. Shit. I'm not about to pay $3.
Were they cheaper or something?
Yes, they were. By a long shot.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, your parents is. Come on now, get a real transformer.
Nah.
You know they
I had
never.
a who actually had all the real shit because they had like a ton of money, but nah, they already knew that we was gonna go over there and play with the shit anyway. So they're like, all right, man, here's your placebo trophy. Here you go.
But nah, and back when it always matched. Like we didn't have money, but like certain kids would have like we got together and we would ask for like we knew if one dude had a castle. I'm talking about He-Man. We knew if one dude had a castle, then you just no need for you to ask for a castle. You just go over his house and take it action figures to the castle. So you asking for the shit that he don't have really, and he asking for the shit that you don't have. So it kind of coordinates naturally.
Yeah.
It coordinates naturally, and then y'all got to play. Back in the day when kids actually played outside and shit.
Oh yeah, man. Like you were kicked out of the house at 8:00 and they didn't want to see your ass till 6, maybe 7.
Yeah. In summertime, yeah. Yeah. But actually they still play outside. I hear them outside playing still. I shouldn't talk shit like that, but it's a lot of technology.
Playing like now, like like for the whole year, like after April, man, like you really didn't see nobody anywhere. It was a ghost town, like all over the metro area. But now I'm starting to see people like, well, not today because they got this snowstorm coming through. But like all of like last week and stuff, yeah, man, they were out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. We don't have snowstorms. That's why you hear the ice cream truck from time to time. It's kids out playing.
Them dudes get paid a lot of money, man. They now taking them cards, man, bro. In Cash App, man, them dudes are getting paid a lot.
Who, Ice Cream Man?
Yeah. Ice Cream Man Cash App, man. Y'all don't?
I don't buy ice cream from. Every now and again, like I'll give a kid that look like everybody else eating ice cream and he not. I'll give him a buck or two, but I never like walked up and I haven't in a long time. I'm not gonna say never. Yeah. Of course, when I was a kid, but I haven't bought ice cream off the truck in a really long time. Yeah. I know they take Cash App. That shit's funny as hell.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. They don't play, man.
But still, I don't see it being much money in it. Like they like a couple of dollars, you get some kids.
No, I mean, because you can go to like Sam's Club or like the actual company and have like a whole bunch of this stuff shipped to you. And you can just have people out just running through the neighborhoods picking up a couple $100 an hour. That's what they do in Colorado, at least. They go up and down like the 16th Street Mall or maybe the mall on Boulder. Yeah, make a lot of money doing that shit, man.
Well, I know that there's money in food trucks.
Oh, an extreme amount. Especially selling like cheap ass hot dogs and like Polish sausages and shit, man. Yeah.
But nah, if you get a food truck with a reputation and everybody's messing with you and you do it, then you got some real money.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I hear that it gets brutal. I hear that it gets brutal. That if you park your truck in the wrong, food truck people territory, you
at the wrong time. You're at the wrong time.
Yeah, because it's not enforced by law. Anybody could park anywhere, reasonably speaking. So they have to self-enforce. Like, hey, this is my spot. This is my people. I park here every day. They come to lunch at this time. And and they come to my truck for lunch, and don't park with the same shit. If I'm a Mexican food truck and you come with some hot wings, that's one thing. But if you come with Mexican too, it's problems, and I can understand why.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what should have happened with the dating coach shit, though.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up. Yeah, that's why I brought that up. Like.
They're like, say, player, how many years do you have? We need to, and what they should have been doing, not to give these dudes even more ideas, but what they should have been doing, like, all right, man, where you from? All right, man, we better go to your old neighborhood. All right, man, show me some of the old girls that you used to mac and dude. It would have been hilarious to see these dudes come up with all this stuff and getting roasted by like these older dudes who are actually in there who had credence. Man, that would have been hilarious, bro. Oh, that would have been so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what should have happened. But I realized that today when I was on Red Supreme shit, and I'm cool with Red Supreme. I'm cool with most of the dudes. I mean, it's just the dudes that does quote unquote dirty macking that I have trouble with. But outside of that, you know, like those
they don't
dudes
try to purge them either. That's the other problem. They don't try to purge them. Like there's no gang up effort to like remove the STD. Because if you remove the STD from the actual group, it would probably make it look better.
Well, in a way they did. To the best that they could, they did. Like that's why he's not on the 7 anymore, or the 6 or whatever it is. You know, that's why he's not. So you know, they did like group up and say, get this nigga the fuck out, you know. And that's because he's not following the principles.
Yeah.
You know, he's not following the principles. It's all dirty mac, and it's all shaming one group to aggrandize either yourself or the group that you belong to.
Yeah, it's. I mean, should have quarantined, but you know they didn't want to take sides, man. And if you don't, I'm telling you, it happens all the time. It happened when I was part of churches too. Once that homeboy of the actual pastor started coming around, he started doing all that nonsense and can't nobody say nothing. Pretty soon the whole place is going to look like that. And that's exactly what happens in nearly all cases.
Exactly. Yeah. Suge Avery should have never been let back into the church. The father should have just stuck with it. Like he was right to kick that harlot out. And now the church is full of harlots.
Yes.
You let one in, then he basically, when he hugged her in front of Ari, he co-signed her being her.
That's right. That's right.
And now, generations later, all the churches are like that. He done messed up, done fucked up his credibility and everything because she can sing. Like,
knowing damn well you had other big bitches who can sing too. Come on,
exactly. Exactly. But I'm gonna get ready to start my day. You got any closing thoughts?
No, it's like, dude, listen. They're up there. We're just moving the ladder out from where they're up there at. So now they got to fight it off on the other side of the hill, and there's no way to jump off the hill either. So I don't know what they're gonna do because there's going to be more and more of these people coming around making the same ubiquitous claims. I mean, because, you know, they can hide behind analytics, they can hide behind backlinks and all this kind of stuff to boost up their channel to thousands to millions. And when you don't lock out fraud, yeah, you finally got 100 likes.
Okay,
so let's
cool.
shut it. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for having me on.
No. Say what you're going to say. When you knock out fraud, go for it.
Yeah. You know, at some point, you're going to have some type of minimum standard. Otherwise, you're always going to be looked at like the least person that's associated with the group every single time. Every time.
Well, I'm going to do my part to disassociate. I'm going to say, you know, I'm not going to say game niggas anymore. I'm going to say, you know, the dirty macking game dudes, you know.
Game claimers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, game claimers. I like that. Yeah. So, you know, I'm gonna call it something else to differentiate, because I don't want others to assume that I'm talking about them. You know, shout out to Red Supreme, because it's not this song is not about you, bro. You know, shout out to Alfie Kingdom. This song is not about you. So, but yeah, that's all I want to say. All right, with that, I want to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats. I want to thank the managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. I will be over at Mr. Fantastics. Hope to see y'all there. And this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.
Game over. All right, cool, man. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.